Hi guys, welcome back to Transits and Tactics and Happy New Year. So this is such an amazing, I think it's amazing to record this on the changeover of the year. And we're always looking forward to, the 31st of December. I don't know about you, but I'm like, let's clean the house, let's get rid of all the old and let's welcome the new. And I always, every year, I have this, the vibe that, things are now immediately from the 12 o'clock going to change. I think I'm not the only one, right? And then from the first, we will start this new life, and everything is going to be okay. All the shit will remain in the past, and the truth is that this transit is kind of sounds scary because we have the sun in the gate of the fighter, right? Is the energy of obstruction and warrior, like going to war. And then we have Earth influences in the gate of provocateur, the gate 39. And I'm very familiar with this energy, especially the energy, because this is both root centers. And we talked about it on the last Transits and Tactics video. We were talking about how, the gates are in the root, they're putting pressure to do or not to do. And they also, Anita was saying, the root is either on, it works like a pulse, right? Or it's off. And if when it's off, it's completely off. In my personal life, in my family, I have a daughter I have a husband whose son, right, is engaged 38. His birthday is tomorrow, the first of the first. So this is the energy I feel and see every day. So there's the energy of the fighter, and it's the same thing. It's either on, or when it off, it completely is off. He's like falling apart. My daughter, who's also here, a Cancer, and Anita was saying last time that how these two are Cancer and Capricorn kind of energies. And my daughter's son is engaged 39, the gate of a provocateur, and it's exactly the same thing. She's always feeling pressure that she needs to do, but being a projector, she's a mental projector. There's completely no motors, undefined root center. She is permanently exhausted, and it's a big thing that we're trying to find the ways to live, literally, to have energy and vitality to live, and it's so interesting. And yet together they are really powerful energy, these two gates, because they are stirring things up so that we can connect with our truth and ourselves. And so we can also, and these people like, both of them, they have both cross of tension, different, um, oh my God, what are they called? Quarters, right? They're, but they are cross of tension. What this energy does, it puts tension on us so that we can take action, so that we can reconnect with our feelings, depending on what it is, right? So that we can oppose to something that is not aligned to us. So even when we are declining something politely, it can be firm. And that is something that, I feel like saying no. And my sister said that to me once. She said, Juliette, no is a complete sentence. And I loved this. And I don't think we mastered the art of opposing, of saying no, of just discerning that this is for us or not for us, and yeah, this is a beautiful energy. Of course, it can be completely destructive. And again, another story of my personal life. As a child, I grew up, and the 31st of December was like a guaranteed argument between my mom and my dad, because my mom would work all day, and then, by 10 o'clock, there will be an argument like that. She's doing everything, nobody's helping, she's exhausted, and this fight energy. So yeah, I am a testament of watching this transit in action in my family growing up for like 20 years. So it can be, because it can also, these are melancholic gates. So in their shadow form, there could be like a complete apathy or giving up or like freaking out and saying, well, I'm on my own here. I have nothing worthwhile to strive for. That is the really key. And I do unfortunately see that in both of my husband and my daughter. But this is where I think we're not given anything to just deal with it. If you feel like there's nothing worthwhile to pursue, that there's no purpose, it's not true. It's not that there is no purpose. It's just that you have to figure out, maybe you are defining your purpose in a very limited way, right? So it's a beautiful thing. It helps our true unique self to emerge, even though maybe not in an easy way or light way. It's, this is the opposition, the provoking. It's a little bit, it's a tension. So it's not easy, but it's absolutely worth it. And of course, if you have the gate 28 in your chart, then the channel of struggle will come to play. And a lot of people are so afraid when they, when they find out they have a channel of struggle. They're like, oh my God, I struggle all my life. It's nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that you are presented these challenges. Let's use the word struggles. And you might be, more stubborn when it comes to certain things. But it is also about you choosing and again being discerning which are the struggles for you to pursue so that you can grow, so that you can challenge yourself, so that you can influence others in the most positive way, even through tension. Or if you're just going to struggle for just actually struggle. And I see that so much. I see that so much. So this week, if you and I actually have the gate 28, so I already sense how those things where like I have to be picky on where to pour my energy because there's a lot of potential for struggles or challenges, and a lot of things are provoking me, but it has to be productive. So I'm telling myself as well, be extra careful. And if you have this 28 gate, or even if you have the whole channel now, pick your battles. Not everything is worth it. So slow down to accelerate, listen to your, strategy and authority, and things will be okay. Again, if you have an open route, remember these are two gates on the route. So be watchful about, if you get over aggressive, or you become overwhelmed yourself, because you can there is this energy that can be like puts a lot of pressure, so you can start fighting for something, and it's just completely unnecessary, unimportant thing really. So step back, slow down, put yourself first. It's always good to wait things out. Actually, this is an energy where I think my advice would be just slow down a little bit. Not everything is worth jumping on if you feel like this. So difficult transition from one year to another, but that happens every year, guys. That
Mm.
happens every year. And there's no point doing what I usually do, put all my hopes on the first. Absolutely no point, because really there's a lot of energy that is quite challenging that's still carried from last year with the transits. And then by the mid to end of January, we're going to get into these what they call the starting codons, right? The
Yeah.
initiating gates, and then things can move. So we can still plan. We can now like think about what's your true uniqueness. If we're pushed into discovering what's underneath the everyday that we're sometimes so blinded with, it's worth it. So slow down if you need. You don't need to take action. You don't need to start something from tomorrow, like New Year resolutions. Wait a little bit, a couple of weeks. Give yourself some space to just see what's uniquely your truth, your purpose, what wants to come out, or what are you saying yes to, where really you should say a firm one word sentence no.
Mm.
Anita, how are you this transit, and happy new year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. No, that's a really good description of this energy, and I love when I hear you using different words. I start to play off it. Like the design starts to dance in front of me for me to say what to say next. But for me, actually enjoy this energy, but it's only probably because I've studied human design for a long time. Now, with all due respect, there is a lot of battle in the chart. There's a lot of tension in the chart this year, more than usual. I might have said it in previous videos. Mars is in retrograde. Last time Mars was in retrograde in these energies was end of 2009, early 2010. So, just to go back, it'll be in a similar type of thing for you. But with this energy, if you look at where it's pointing, the 38 is pointing to the spleen, which is survival fears. It's coming from the root, which is stress. And 39 is pointing to the emotion center, which is emotional attachments, right? Emotional. And it's also the energy of abundance. So the battles can be with our fears, or fear of failure, or fear of death if we don't progress, if we don't do the thing that we're bullying ourselves into do, let's face it, right? We're bullying ourselves to do things a certain way. Um, and this extra bully energy will be up because Mars versus Pluto is the two control energies. So if you're experiencing control games, if you're experiencing super controlling in the relationships, if your toddler, your terrible two is turned into a wicked two because they're everybody's triggered. Your dog is more yappy than usual. This is part of this energy, right? It's aggressive, and yet it's the energy that helps us break through the soil. It helps us decide what is worth our energy. Because so many people have judged challenge. Have you noticed that so many people have judged the struggle instead of realize actually part growth and struggle go hand in hand?
Mm,
Oh, I mean,
exactly.
they go hand in hand. So how about we stop judging struggle and start realizing that gate 38 to 28 is, look, play with it, adventure with, be in the adventure of your business or of your life rather than, oh my God, here we go, another struggle. And I love it because some fool said that, oh, life, when you're enlightened and you're meditating, you do this, this, and this, everything is going to go easy and flow for you. I'm calling that out as BS,
Yes,
right?
I'm with you.
It's just bullshit because really the truth is how you handle the struggle is what makes the difference. The other side of this is provoking the provocative energy, the 39 that says, I am a victim of prosperity. I'm a victim of my emotions. It's the gate from victim to freedom. So the freedom is that I can actually take charge of what I need to do rather than feel I'm controlled everywhere I go. And stop believing my emotion. So recognizing that when I embrace struggle and realize, yes, it's exhausting, right? Let's just call a spade a spade. It can be exhausting to struggle. The truth is, though, that's why it's so important to pick your battles. That's why it's so important to know what to struggle for, because that stubbornness and tenacity will actually carry you through your thing when 99 other percent of people will give up. So your question, look
I
at
love
your
this.
at the root center with the business, right? It's the 58, it starts with the gate 10 from the G center, which is what do I love? What's my direction, right? And then it moves to the root center and it starts with the gate of vitality. Okay, what have I got the energy for? And next it moves to the gate of battle. Well, what am I prepared to fight for?
Yeah.
It moves then to the ambition of, am I prepared to manifest it? So it's when you look at it from that perspective, with these energies, you can use these energies to break through your stories that you've held in battle. Manifesting so important to, okay, how long have you fought with this particular thing and with this particular person? With this particular business process. So how long have you fought with that? And is it time to just start considering something else? You
Mhm.
know? So I find them, they're really challenging. Don't get me wrong. It's a challenge, watch out for the control games, but the control game within. Where am I preventing myself from shining because of some fear or some emotional attachment? You know, and that's a really key question to bring into the new year. And as you said, Juliette, not a great time to actually start things. I think the 1st of January was man-made start date. But I actually think the truth, I'm Irish, so I always started in February, not realizing that that was a natural Bealtaine, or not Bealtaine, sorry, it's St. Bridget's Day. It's a very natural start point for me. But the actual start codon on the chart is on the 22nd of January this year. It's when the sun enters the gate 41. So now is a great time to be formulating your programs, getting the launch together, putting it out there, maybe even starting the launch on the 22nd or starting your program on the 22nd. It's a really good time. But just to realize the power of knowing this means you can get out of the killing fields for the next few weeks. You
I
can,
love this. I love this. You said something really, really poignant. Even if you have, for example, a channel of struggle, or if you're born and you were, the gate of the fighter is your son. You're like, I don't want to fight. I just want peace. Like my husband says, I want peace.
yeah,
I am born under the gate of confusion. Like, this is my life. I never make sense in the moment what the hell is going on. And this knowledge helps take that feeling because it's never a pleasant feeling. You can kind of succumb to that feeling and let it take over you, and nothing good happens from any gate. Whatever gate you have, it always has this overwhelming energy that will make you feel like you're, pulled a short straw, right? And no, no. But so especially when you're dealing with gates like this, like the gate of shock, like Ra Uruhu was born in, gate 51 and his son, gate of shock. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like this energy. It's brilliant. You're here to maybe shock people, but into something new or a different thing. There's always a reason why you're born, because you're born for a very perfect for you life experience, but it's up to you to wake up to it. And I don't want to say like be awoken. I don't want to go into that kind of woo-woo world with this, but it's up to you to take responsibility for the potential you have, to make sure you're live your life, in the
that,
purpose with the potential
yeah,
that you're given. I love
that,
that.
yeah, that is so true. And what's coming to me is the battle is, while it's part of it, the battle doesn't need to be used to destroy what's good in your life. The battle is the energy to break through or to break down what's no longer serving you. And what people don't realize is the battle to suppress your light is just as exhausting.
Yes,
So the
I think
reverse.
it's more exhausting.
It probably is because it's
Yeah,
like it's like a bolt of lightning in your energy that is just constantly, persistently, stubbornly nagging you to live your purpose. And the more you avoid that, the more exhausted you get.
yeah,
So there's a lot of people walking out there with thinking they have depression when actually what they're just doing is suppressing their joy, right? And are stopping their joy from rising. And it's interesting to see as well how fun and engaging knowing how to battle, knowing how to be in that place that you have to be firm. And as you say, no is a complete sentence. To say no. How many people just battle with saying no and spend most of their time saying, yeah, yeah, I know, right? And struggle to say yes to people. Battle does, and yet you're going to see it on the world stage. You're going to see battle. But
yeah.
you might see overthrowing a controlling regime. This is the overthrowing of the controls. So it's kind of like perfect at the end of the year to have this energy to overthrow, look back on your year and what needs to go. And moving into then freeing up that space, because when you stop that internal battle, you free up so much room and so much energy to actually do what you want. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like so.
It's so funny because you literally naturally now finished with what I've started describing, how every 31st I'm like, let's clean this, let's get rid of this.
Yeah,
So that's exactly what's happening. And it's not about what's going to happen on the first. It's actually about this, like let's not battle. It doesn't have to. You're also very, I loved that point. The battle doesn't have to be, something really negative, but you are breaking through. There's one expression you used in the beginning of this video. You said it's like a seed breaking the ground. So that's the energy. Just because somebody called this, a battle or a fighter or provocateur. Those are just words that some human being assigned to this energy. And we all have our own interpretation. But I think we need to look beyond the word itself and see what is this energy, what is this theme, and what does it actually mean. And you know what? If there's a different word that came into your mind so that you can make peace with it and take the most of it. And, as Anita was saying, it's more difficult to fight your potential than to embrace it and go with it and challenge, embrace the challenges that it brings, because you are like, it's, I had this when you were talking about the battle. I thought about, sometimes we see these movies about, warriors, right? Warriors or military, and you have these soldiers that are really into it. And I always thought, like, how can they be into it? Because there is a beauty in this process too, and I'm not talking about killing other people or anything like that, but there's a beauty in the challenging and embracing the battle. And that is when you're born for it, when you embracing it, that's how you're going to feel. This is the root energy, this is the adrenaline. We can channel it positively and make something happen, or we can let it overwhelm us and be completely burnt out. And then when you do, if you feel that pressure that you can't realize, you become a victim to this energy. God forbid if you have line 4 in your design, guys, because you're going to be exhausted. But also as a collective, these days, I'm talking about this in my new book. We have this 4th line theme in the collective, how we are responding to everything. So we get exhausted as societies. We get exhausted all together, so we have to really, on individual level, it's important to understand this. We are trying to empower you with this knowledge. Again, when you know what's happening, you can find your own definition. You can take responsibility and control. So you don't have to be just a one little, part of this society that's exhausted. You, within your world, within your life, can actually make the most of it. Be that soldier that's charged with going into battle. Be that, because it doesn't have to be a horrible experience. It could be a really beautiful experience. You never know what's going to happen. So guys, Happy New Year again. We will leave you at this, and we will see you in the next episode of Transits and Tactics. See you.